Ethan worked double shifts, often skipping meals so his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, could have enough. She was his entire world, bright, kind, and always asking when mommy would come back from heaven. It had been 3 years since his wife, Grace, passed away after a failed surgery. Ethan had spent every penny trying to save her. And when the bills kept piling, he sold their home, moved into a small apartment, and took up the waiter job at Bristol's fine dining, the kind of place where people like him served people who never noticed them. Until that morning. The staff buzzed nervously. The owner had announced that the restaurant was being visited by Evelyn Hart, CEO of Hart Industries. A billionaire, known for her sharp mind and icy presence. She was coming to finalize a partnership deal. Ethan had heard of her before everyone had. But when she walked in that morning, something inside him froze. Her eyes. Her voice. Even the way she moved, it all brought back memories. He didn't realize it immediately, but as she sat at table 4, something deep inside his chest twisted. Because Evelyn Hart wasn't just any CEO. She was the woman who had saved his daughter's life. 3 years earlier, Lily had been 5 when she was diagnosed with a rare heart defect. The doctors said she needed surgery immediately, one that cost more than Ethan could ever afford. He had sold everything. Still, it wasn't enough. He had walked into the hospital lobby that night, holding Lily's hand, tears in his eyes, ready to sign the papers to let her go home without treatment. He couldn't bear to watch her fade away in a hospital bed she couldn't afford. That's when a stranger had overheard him talking to the nurse. A woman in an expensive suit, waiting for someone. She quietly walked to the counter, handed over her credit card, and told the billing staff, "Whatever that little girl needs, I'll cover it." Ethan had turned, stunned, as she smiled at Lily and said, "Every heart deserves a second chance." She never told him her name. She just walked away before he could thank her. That woman, he now realized, was Evelyn Hart. Back to the present. Now she sat before him, powerful, polished, completely unaware of who he was. Ethan stood there, tray in hand, heart pounding. He wanted to say something, anything. But how do you thank someone who doesn't even remember saving your world? Then he heard his manager whisper, "She's the one who bought the property. If we impress her, we keep our jobs. If not, this place shuts down." Something inside Ethan shifted. He thought of the bills at home. Lily's upcoming school trip he couldn't afford. He needed her attention, but not as a waiter. As a father. As the man whose daughter was alive because of her. So, he took a deep breath, stepped forward, and spilled the coffee. Hot liquid splashed across her sleeve and table. The room gasped. His manager shouted. Evelyn looked up sharply, anger flashing in her eyes. "What on earth?" But before security could be called, Ethan whispered, voice trembling, "Please, just give me a minute. I didn't do it to ruin your day. I did it because you saved mine." Her anger faltered. She stared at him, confused. He took off his apron, hands shaking, and began to tell her everything. Chapter 2, The Truth That Stopped Her Heart. Evelyn sat frozen as Ethan recounted the night in the hospital. His words carried weight, raw, sincere, trembling with emotion. "You walked in wearing a gray suit. You paid for my daughter's surgery and disappeared before I could even say thank you. That girl, she's 8 now. Healthy. Beautiful. Every heartbeat she has, it's because of you." The entire restaurant had gone silent. Even the manager, who was moments away from firing him, stood motionless. Evelyn's eyes welled up. She remembered that night vaguely. She'd just closed a massive deal, and on her way out of the hospital, where she'd been visiting a client's daughter, she'd overheard a father crying. Something about his pain had struck her. She'd acted without thinking, paying the bill, then leaving. She had no idea that small act had saved someone's world. "You're saying, that was you?" she whispered. Ethan nodded, his voice breaking. "I never forgot your face. Every night when I tuck Lily in, I thank God for the woman who didn't even know us but still gave us everything." Tears streamed down Evelyn's face. For years she'd been buried in her empire, numbers, deadlines, and deals. But in that moment, she realized something she hadn't felt in a long time: human connection. She stood, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You don't owe me anything, Ethan. You've already thanked me by raising her. But tell me, what do you need now?" He hesitated. "I just need a chance. A better life for my daughter. I've been trying, but it's hard when the world only sees a waiter." Evelyn smiled faintly, wiping her tears. "Then maybe it's time the world sees what I see: a father who never gave up." Within a week, she had offered Ethan a job in her company's hospitality division. Not out of pity, but because she saw something extraordinary: integrity, humility, and heart. Lily got to meet the woman who saved her, and in that small reunion, Evelyn found something she hadn't realized she'd lost: hope. Closing scene. Hook returns. Months later, Ethan stood in his new office, a manager now, respected and proud. Lily's photo sat on his desk beside a small card that read, "Every heart deserves a second chance, Evelyn Hart." He smiled, whispering softly, "You were right." The camera pans out, the same restaurant in the background, now thriving under new ownership, hers. And as Evelyn walked in, smiling warmly at Ethan and Lily sharing lunch, the narrator's voice closes. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can change the course of someone's life forever. Because when you give from the heart, it always finds its way back to you. Moral message. Broken heart: one small act of kindness can create ripples that reach beyond time, beyond memory, and sometimes, right back to the heart that gave it.